You can see the monkey over there. As you can see right now we are at Polatpur station, from where we will be head on towards Pratapgad. Basically, if we are going from Mumbai, Polatpur will be the nearest station from where you can go to Pratapgad. But it doesn't apply for if you're coming from Pune, because Mahabaleshwar will be the nearest station to go on to Pratapgad. Now another thing that we should keep in mind, that the distance from Polatpur to Pratapgad is very much less than is compared to Mahabaleshwar. So it's a preferred way to come at Polatpur rather than Mahabaleshwar. It's around 18 to 20 kilometers from Polatpur to Pratapgad, whereas from Mahabaleshwar it takes around 30 kilometers. So I'll catch you over there. There is a short correction in what I've spoken before. I think the number of it's a preferable way to come from Mahabaleshwar to all the way to Pratapgad, because the number of frequency of buses which you get from Polatpur to Pratapgad are not that much as compared to the buses which you get from Mahabaleshwar to Pratapgad. Uh, yeah, that's the reason. But on the other hand, if you're coming from Polatpur, the view that you get to see while coming over this place, it's so beautiful. You will really admire it. So it's your call. From there, you wish to come over here. I basically prefer to come from Mahabaleshwar rather than Polatpur, uh, only because of the frequency of buses that are available from there. So so you look back around. It took me around 2 hours from Polatpur to reach over Pratapgad, the foothills of Pratapgad. If you look back at the history of this fort was built by Moropandi Pingle under the order of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Basically, this fort was built in order to protect the river banks, which in front of the fort, which you could see from the distance. In order to look over them, as you can see, that is the main entrance of the fort. Uh, the special architecture about these gates, we can say that they were always built at an angle of 90 degree. Uh, so whenever you enter a fort, they was always built at an angle of 90 degrees, so that the enemies which were entering the fort will eventually not attack the gates of the fort directly. They will eventually fell into some kind of trap, uh, which the defense army could exploit the same situation. This is the entrance of the Pratapgarh fort. If you can see the slots over there, uh, that are basically used for defense. If any enemy army would come over here, the defense army would either drop hot oil from there, or else uh, hit them with the cannons. Dropping the oil, hot oil basically, was most preferable way, as it would kill most of the enemies. This process was called as Ganimi Kawa in Marathi, uh, also known as guerrilla attack. This fort was basically divided into two parts: the upper part, which you could see over there, and the lower part, which will be over here. So we'll first explore the lower part and then move on to the upper part. The first thing that you get to see when you are going on the lower part of the fort is this artificial lakes, or you can say the water reservoirs, which were built at that time to store the water. Uh, there are still pipelines over here which had to carry waters to all the houses over here. So yeah, it's still okay. So here we are at, yeah, uh, the oldest temples on this fort, Kedareshwar Mandir. The structure you can see, which was built, it's still intact. Nothing harm is. If you can see inside, the inside structure is exactly the same, which was built in around 1656, and they have never touched the inside structure. Only renovated the outer side of the outer side of the temple. It's way too much foggy out here. You can hardly see anything besides being on the top of the mountain. This is another point from where you can see the beautiful scenery, but it's all foggy out here. If you can see over here, if you're able to see this space over here, it's an escape gate from where the people living on this fort, or the ruler maybe, used to escape from here, which would eventually directly get them outside the fort from this way. It's unable to see anything from right now because of the fogginess around here. Because of the main reason why this fort was there was a Pratapgad, because as Shivaji Maharaj had killed Afzal Khan over here, it was a brave incident, a brave task to do. That's what Pratap, which symbolizes a brave activity. Yeah, that's the reason this fort was named as Pratapgad. Here you can see the statue of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, which was inaugurated by Mr. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, late Prime Minister of India. There are also gardens made over here, which are well intact by the people living on this fort at present. The place we are at right now is the upper part of the fort. Basically, all the people used to stay. It is said that if any of the army were able to reach over there, the people living over here would escape from the escape path which I showed you before, and used to lock the doors of the fort and eventually then attack on them. So it's about the kind of strategy the people of that time used to protect this fort. The place you see over here is the Bhavani Mata temple, the ancient temple that was built at that time. Unfortunately, photography is not allowed inside, so I won't be able to show what's inside, but I can tell you there's one sword of the I think the Senapati of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, which is still intact inside, and some photographs. The place I'm standing right now gives an excellent view of the upper part as well as the lower part of the fort. We have just completed the upper part of the fort. There are many points up over there, but the lower part of the fort consists only of a single point, that too a mesmerizing point. It's the bastion itself, you can see. So yeah, we'll go over there. So now we are working on the fortification of this fort, and you can see that lake, that water storage system over there. You can see that bastion as well. By coming along the fortification of the fort, you can have a great view of the lower part of the fort as well as the upper part of the fort. There is as well a smaller section of fort over here. I don't think so the way to go over there, but the people are coming from there. That part must have the tomb of Afzal Khan, probably. We'll try to go over there. Let's see. By walking around the fort, now I realized, along with the upper and the lower part of the fort, there is also a third section over here. As you can see, there's a lot of space down there. I don't know exactly the reason why this area would be, but as if look like no one really seems to visit over here. Also, not much people around here, around this whole area. Yeah, but something must be up over there, as people are walking over there. The weather over here has made a drastic change suddenly. While I was exploring the third part of the fort, suddenly there was a heavy rainfall, due to which I was unable to move forward. But yeah, there were two escape ways from which I was able to capture only one. The second was too far away from me, but due to the heavy rainfall and as well as the trees over there, I was unable to go over there. Right now we are at top of the Bastion, the highest point on Pratapgad, but unfortunately, because of all the fog, is unable to see anything. It is down over there. Uh, Otherwise, which could it be one of the most beautiful scenes from Pratapgad you could ever see. So yeah, that was the last part of Pratapgad Fort. Uh, there are many more points to explore, but I wasn't able to do so. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and share this video and also subscribe to the channel, as there are more trekking videos coming this monsoon season. If you want more detailed information about this video, you can also check in the description box or visit my blog. So till then, it's goodbye from here. Take care, keep traveling, and Jai Maharashtra.